Hi guys, today I just want to show you a quick and easy way to make an additional securing strap for your Fitbit Flex or any other devices that you're going to wear on your wrist. Especially, I do a lot of mountain biking, you know, running, things like that. And what I found with this Fitbit Flex is simply when you pop it on your wrist and you've clipped it on, then quite easily sometimes you can catch it, and I've done it twice already since I've had it. I've only been having it on 2 weeks, and it flicks off and it can easily fall off and you can lose it. So I've been experimenting this afternoon. I just made a couple of small ones using some elastic, okay, and basically it's a flexible elastic sleeve that's going to go over both straps when you've put it on. It may not stop it totally from being lost, can't guarantee that, but it'll give you some time to identify that it's come loose as it's coming off your wrist. But given the fact that the elastic's 3 inches in its width, then it gives you a little bit more security when you're out riding, running or anything like that. I mean, other methods that you can use is obviously just using a sweatband to put over the top of it. That's a good idea. So I've been using an elastic band, which isn't very good at all. Okay, they start digging to your wrist and they snap dead easy. Okay, so quickly now, I'm not going to take up much time with this one. It's basically to show you a quick way to make one. Household items, all you're going to need: scissors. You may have to purchase some elastic, but your mum or any of your family members, your wife, girlfriend, may have some elastic around the house. Alright, this is just from the local sewing shop up the road. It's just 3 inches wide, elastic banding, and it's sealed at both edges. What you don't want to do is use this edge because it'll fray. Alright, so make sure these two edges are going to be on the outside of your strap when you make it, so they're not going to fray when you're pulling at it to pull it on your strap. Okay, so like I said, there's one I made earlier there. So all I've got: a pair of scissors, a piece of 3-inch elastic, 3 safety pins, needle, and some waxed cotton, really strong thread. If you're going to use something, then use this. Don't use normal thread, it'll rot when it gets wet, alright, or damp. Or if you haven't got any of that, good old magic dental floss. I use that on my windsurfing sails as well. It's fabulous stuff. Alright, so simple. So what I've done now, I get this Fitbit Flex, I get the strap. Basically, I'm going to do it on the strap, alright, and just wrap it round so you can see here clearly that the edges here, okay, they're the edges that aren't going to fray. And I'm just going to give it a bit of width on there and just wrap it over, give it a little bit more. You've cut a piece off, that's going to be waste at the end of the day. So you're just putting it over the strap. It's just for a template. I'm just going to put the pins on. And this is just to basically just give me, so it doesn't slip off when I'm actually stitching it. I'm going to do this pretty quick. You can take your time doing it. I've made one already, so a couple of disasters. The only reason I found out the fraying was when I cut it in half as well, because I thought it was too long, started fraying, no good. You can get different widths of this strap, okay, you can get inch, 2 inch, whatever you want that's going to slide over the top of this. A couple of other little tips before you start: give it plenty of gap here, because this is going to be turned inside out. When it's turned inside out, you're going to have a small ridge. You need enough gap to slide it over so it's not too loose but not too tight, otherwise you'll be trying to pull it over the strap forever and a day, and there's quite a little bit to pull over there, and if you're on your own you haven't got anybody else to do it, so you need that to slide over. So give yourself a good 1/4 of an inch when you start stitching it. Okay, that's easy to see now how I've done that. It slid over quick and simple. I've threaded this already because it took me about 10 minutes because I'm not very good eyesight. Alright, so basically I'm just going to do, I think it's a back stitch, just give it 1/4 of an inch or between the pin and the strap and just stitch it up quick. Okay, just do a back stitch all along, give yourself plenty of gap. You'll be able to feel it. I mean, if you mess the first one up, don't worry about it, you can make some more. This isn't going to cost you arm and a leg to do. what it will do is, if you lose it, it's going to cost you 60 or 70 quid to replace it. That's the thing. So spend a little bit of time on it. I'm just going to do a quick few stitches up there. Because it's waxed, it's going to be tough anyway. Alright, you're going to turn this inside out. It's going to be pretty solid. Alright, I'm going to give this plenty of gap. You can make a few different ones. It's up to your good selves, whatever you want to do. But I found already with this, after a few days, especially with a jacket, the jumper, you pull it off with a jumper, you know, it's been a nightmare already, and you're forever testing your wrist to see if it's back on again as well. So, you know, I didn't want to be doing that. I didn't want to be sat messing about all the time. If you're mountain biking, you know, and you're in, you know, mud, trees, wherever you're going to be, it's not going to be the best. So you don't want to be looking for this. It's just going to ruin your day, you know. So now I've gone down one side within a couple of minutes, alright, and now I'm just going to go back on itself. Wanted to actually do this, but I'm going to go back, and it's waxed anyway, so it doesn't matter. Another run down quickly, making sure you keep that gap. You follow the line already, follow the line back as well, alright, so just keep that gap. Watch you don't stab yourself with the pins like I just did. So no problem. That's that. Just a couple more in there. That's it. And just get to the end and then just tie this off. Make sure you do your good knot in the end. Just tie it off. Do that. Put a couple of ties in it so it stitches, so it ties it up okay. Alright. People are charging a fortune for one of these in a shop. You know, you can make it in a few minutes. Make it tight. You know, not a lot of cost involved, not a lot of time involved, but that's it. That's made. So what I'm going to do, take the pins out, and I'm going to trim it up now. Okay. And all I'm going to do is make sure that when I trim it, I go up to as close to the stitching as possible. Alright. Quite simple. Once I've done that, let's move them out of the way. Just turn it inside out. Now, it should be quite easy. If you've given it enough gap, it should be quite easy to turn it inside out. If you haven't, it's going to be a bit more of a nightmare as well. You're going to struggle turning it inside out. You want a bit of flexibility. Remember, it's going to stretch, it's elastic, it's good stuff. It's going to dry out quick. Use waxed cotton, no problem at all. Alright, so there you go. Now, that's made. Alright, you want to trim a couple of edges off, it's not a problem. Just where that's coming out, and there we have it on the edge. Alright, that there and that there, that's just a bit of cotton that's hanging out the edge there. Trim that off. Those are the solid edges, so when you pull it either side there, it's not going to cause a problem. Now with a bit of luck, that'll slide on. Okay, so first of all, which way I'm going to go, because that's going to clip in, I want to slide it over the top. Okay, so it's more difficult to slide it underneath, so I'm going to put it over the band to start with. Alright, so the holes are exposed, because you're going to clip that on and then you want to pull it over the top. It's easy to pull over the top and the bottom because you might pull it across the bottom half. Alright, so bang that on like this now. Let's clip it on. There you go, and then all you need to do is just take the edge of that and slide it up and across. And you can see I've probably got enough width there. That's no problem, that's going over nicely. Alright, till it's in the centre. Alright, and now you can see the band itself. The hasp covered in the middle there. You can see just where it is. Alright, I've probably pulled that a bit too far. Pull it back a bit, no problem. And that's what you've got. Now where you've stitched it, that little edge with the stitching on, just pull to one side so it's not rubbing underneath your wrist. And there you have it. An additional band that's going to stop you losing that if it unclips. I'm just unclip that inside now. Right, that's not going anywhere just yet. Okay, right, no problem. Want to get it off? That's it, just put it to there, clip it back off, and you're off again. Keep your band and keep that on the top. No problem, guys. There you have it. Another little thing I did on this one, if any of you are interested, same principle, same process. Get some band about 1 inch wide, okay, and what you can do, you can put it over where your actual device goes in the band. Here's one I made earlier. Slip it over the top of the band, okay, and all this is going to do this, so you're still going to read this, alright. It stops that popping out again when you're riding, but it's going to be on your wrist. But what it will do is, if it starts raining and you haven't got anything else on your wrist, it's going to keep it a little bit more waterproof. If you're starting sweating and anything's going under there, as you can see, it's going to cover it. No bother at all. Same process, don't need to go through that one. It's not rocket science that, but they are quite easy to make.